Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Brian. We are in Cape Cod area, Massachusetts today, visiting family. And while we're here, we're going to see if we can work on this 1977 Jeep CJ that came with the property. No telling how long it's been sitting here. Last inspection sticker is 2011. Main problem is, well, other than being stuck in this backyard, is there are no keys. So in order to remove it from this backyard, we need to replace or get that ignition lock cylinder out of there, and then we'll maybe drag it out and see if there's any save in it. It is equipped with what I believe to be an AMC 304 V8, which I'm not sure why it's all painted yellow under here, but it has definitely seen better days. We'll get a little closer look at it as we go. But let's start with the ignition lock cylinder. When I did pull the cover off here, I was staring at some mice. I think they've since left the vehicle, but they've left some other stuff behind. So we need to find something to sit on so we can get in there. Horn button just kind of quarter turned and came off there. Alright, and that is captured under that nut, so when you get some tools and take this nut off. Next, we need a steering wheel puller and pull the steering wheel. I have your basic part store steering wheel puller, lock plate depressor kit. You just need to find the right bolts to thread into those holes, which I believe these are. Now with a little luck, the steering wheel should pop off here, and it does. Piece of trim should come off. Now we need to push down. There's a little snap ring holding all this crap on there, so we need to use this portion of the kit, and we'll push down so we can expose that snap ring and pop it out of there. It's been a long time since I've used one of these, but there's threads up inside there. This one's 9/16 18. So that will thread onto the steering shaft. Should thread onto it, come on. Okay. Now, shouldn't be able to press this lock plate down. And then we can access that snap ring. I did not bring a lot of tools with me, so I'm working with what I have. should be able to, if I can keep this damn little ring up out of this groove, it should pop off. There it is. Now this whole turn signal horn button assembly should slide off here. There's some screws in here that hold this whole turn signal cancel cam assembly down. And also I should be able just to take this stock off here. Oh, she's a little sticky. Somewhere under here some wires I'm going to have to deal with. So now the switch is loose, but it doesn't want to come out because of the wiring and this hazard switch over on the side. So the wiring comes down through the column, inside the column, and attaches down there. So I'm going to get down here with all this mouse piss and try to get that cut loose so we can get some slack. And it looks like it's all butt spliced together and someone's been in there before. Remove that tie wrap. Free up some space here. Alright. Now I should be able to push up on this wiring. Oh, this is nasty. There we go. Okay, now there's some more, look to be like 5/16 screws. Go ahead and pull them out. Let's see what size they really are. And again, I'm limited tools here. Alright, so after much fussing and carrying on, it appears as though on the new lock cylinder there's this little tab, and that's spring loaded. So I went in through this hole and got a hold, was able to push on that tab, kind of angled up in there, and then I beat on it with a pair of channel locks, and the little tab disappeared. You want to pull it, and lo and behold, we got the lock cylinder out. So it looks as though a replacement is the correct one. So that appears to be what holds it in there. Now in theory we should be able to pop this back in and then it should work. Okay, that's in there now. Now it appears as though perhaps our ignition switch has fallen off or didn't go in the right hole. So we'll have to work on getting that back together right. but we have key turnage now anyway. Unfortunately, through all that, this little piece right here attaches to the rod for the ignition switch, and this casting broke off, so I'm going to leave some of these parts out. The goal was just to be able to get this vehicle to actually be able to turn the steering wheel. So I'll put all this back together, and then we'll do another little walk around and see if this thing will fire up or do anything. Our main goal in all this was just to be able to move this vehicle to another part of the property, which was kind of difficult to do without being able to turn the steering wheel. But we might play around and see if it'll actually run or even crank. I can't turn the engine with the belt, so I'm going to try to get something on the crank and see if it's free. I couldn't get anything on the crank. And see if I can turn it by the power steering belt. Oh, it actually moves some. And it spins that direction. Alright, so the engine is not locked up. I did bring a battery. Maybe see if it'll fit in there. And find the negative cable. Alright. So the ignition switch is in the off position. Let's see what happens. Could be smoke, fire, who knows. No, the horn works. I guess we'll need to unplug that. I did look, and there is oil in here. It's got the see-through air cleaner lid option, but it's not full of too much garbage. Right now, we'll just see if it'll crank. And that feels like it's in neutral. We've got to activate the rod here. Nothing. I would doubt this vehicle has a clutch switch. So we'll go over here to the starter solenoid and just jump it. So let's see here, hot coil. Should be able to do this. Nothing. So next we'll get the multimeter out, check for voltage. So the battery's good and we have power down to the solenoid. Maybe it's just a dirty connection. Alright, so it spins. Let me go try it again from the ignition switch. That does not work. But that is not a problem, necessarily. And this vehicle, somebody's installed a new harness, so that doesn't, who knows if that was ever even completed or hooked up right. If I turn the ignition switch to on, I should see if I have voltage at the coil. I'm guessing that's on. No power to the coil. Let me check a couple different positions. So I believe I now have the ignition switch in the correct position, and we do have 12-ish volts to the coil. So next we'll pop the distributor cap off and see, I'm assuming this will have points, see what they look like. So I verified that there's electronic ignition under there. Let's see if we have spark. Try to find somewhere it's a decent ground. I'll just check the coil wire. Again. That's blinking, so we have spark. Okay. We've got a little bit of gas in here. We'll just shoot some down. If this stupid gas can will open up. Oh, that's probably way too much. All right, go ahead. Again. It actually runs. It's probably all it's going to run for right now, because that is the hose from the fuel tank. The fuel pump's down there. Well, actually, no. Yeah, so that's... Anyway, there's no fuel system hooked up here worth a shit, but we'll maybe get some more gas and try her again. Here, you want to try it again? Let me dump a little more fuel in there. All right. All right, so I think that's all our gas is going to allow us to do for now. We're going to make our plan and we'll come back. So it's the next day. I've rigged up a fuel hose. We'll do a little temporary fuel tank here on the front. And then I'll hook this into the carburetor. But first, I want to actually crank it and see if this will pump fuel at all. Because it was not hooked up previously, and see how much junk is in there. Okay, I'll just short it out up here and just run the starter. See if we get any fuel. Helps if you put the hose in fuel. Nothing yet. I don't know if that fuel pump's any good or not. Now we're going to give her a shot with some old carb cleaner. See if it'll run long enough. Maybe it'll pump fuel. All right, go ahead. See if you see any fuel like pouring out down there where the fuel pump is. Great, looks like our fuel pump does not function. All right, back to the drawing board. So after a mouthful of gasoline, some various attempts, that fuel pump does not appear to work. So we've primed it so this hose is full, and it should siphon out of this sketchy setup here. All right, go ahead and try it. Since there's probably no fuel in the bowls, we'll give it a little help. Okay. Get this air cleaner off here. All right, just out of curiosity, I think I'll pull the top off this carburetor and we'll see if it's getting fuel to it and what jankiness is going on in there.
So I've flooded the carb bowl with fuel. I don't know if that float's going to work, but let's try starting it again. It should idle. Just don't know for how long. So more than likely we ran all that fuel out of there, and the pressure of the tank's not enough to lift the needle in there and refill the carb. Plus it's starting to leak out of the accelerator pump too. So this may be a short video. So our main goal this whole time has been to get this thing to move and get it out of this yard. So there's going to be a little off-roading involved. So anyway, since it actually ran, I went ahead and locally found a carburetor rebuild kit. I put a kit in that and cleaned it out. You can't see it, but way down under the power steering pump there's a new fuel pump because it wouldn't pump. So I mean, we're like 20 bucks into each part. And I did start it this morning, and it kind of runs, idles kind of high, but I'm not too concerned about that. And the clutch was rusted fast and rocked it enough, and it broke free. So we have a functioning clutch, forward and reverse. Now we're going to try to see if we can get out of these holes. It's been sitting here at least 10 years, so it's sunk in. We topped off the tires. So our next step is going to be see if we can get it out of here. And I don't believe it has brakes either. That should make it real fun. Okay, we've all gathered around, shoveled out under the tires. We'll see if it'll power its way out of here. Let's see if I can get in here. It was problematic earlier.
That's amazing.
That looks freaking dangerous. There's a bunch of dips.
So I might have left a few things out of that video. I was told there were no brakes, and the brakes actually work, so that's one reason we drove it around. Also, the frame's pretty rusty. Wasn't told that part, so you may actually be seeing that in some future videos. It may come here and have some frame restoration and some little more permanent repairs. Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon.